Globally, marine ingredients are at a pivotal moment. Today, the sector contributes close to 5 to 6 lakh metric tons, and as aquaculture continues to expand, its role in feeding a growing population is only set to become more critical. With aquafeed production expected to double by 2050, the question is no longer whether marine ingredients will matter, but how they will evolve responsibly to meet this demand. And when we bring that lens to India, the conversation becomes even more important. India is the second largest fish producer, one of the largest exporters, and has a fast growing population. With a clear policy push towards self sufficiency by 2047, yet India exports fish meal and fish oil while also importing to feed its own fish. It really feels like an imbalance. To discuss this, I'm joined by Dr. Mohamed Dawood Sait, President of the Indian Marine Ingredients Association, a key voice shaping the future of India's marine ingredient sector. Dr. Dawood, it's a pleasure to have you here with me.
Thank you, Richa, for inviting me today. Hope we'll have a healthy discussion. And I was quite eager to meet you. Thank you.
Before we dive into the specifics, I would like to start with the broader vision. IMIA tag line says, working towards a sustainable fisheries for better tomorrow. A very, very powerful message. Why don't you tell us more about that and your vision?
So, you asked me sustainable fisheries for better tomorrow, our tagline. This is not a simple tagline, it's the lens through which IMIA evaluates every decision, partnerships, and initiatives. A better tomorrow means thriving aquaculture sector that feeds the growing nation and the world. It means fishing communities with the secure, dignified livelihood. It means healthy oceans that continue to give generously to the future generation. And it means Indian marine ingredients industry recognized globally for its quality, integrity, and innovations. IMIA is the association driving the future of today's marine ingredients. We believe in that ocean belongs to all, not for selected few.
Great, sir. Our audience look forward to our healthy discussion. And before we deep dive, let's start with understanding where India sits today in this global scenario.
Yes.
What is India's share in the global fish meal and fish oil production?
Oh, you might be knowing very well that total world fish meal is capped at 5 million tons. We India produce around 0.6 million tons.
And what is our share in aquaculture feed production globally?
Basically, we are not a feed exporters, but you can say that we might be contributing around 5%. It's my guess.
Okay. And how is this fish meal, fish oil production is split between exports and domestic consumption?
Uh, See, we are producing around, you say so, around 1.2 to 1.4 million tons of premium feed, which goes into shrimp and other premium culture. So, out of 0.6 million tons, 0.2 million tons is domestically consumed, rest is exported.
Okay. And how much is our share of pelagics in our marine landings?
Oh, we have around 55 to 60% share in marine landings. You can find this in our CMFRI landing data as well as Fisheries Ministry's landing data.
This is like colossal. And I didn't knew this.
No, we do have very fertile ecosystem, and our west coast currently we are concentrated at 5 states, and as I have understood working with this industry, and we do have our own paper researchers where I saw that you have a very good upwelling with the southwest monsoon, and our continental shelves are quite broader, which supports this small pelagics. And as of now, only due to El Nino we might be affected, but there is no much any effect due to fishing pressure, and the world says the same thing. We do have very good resource.
And where are we exploiting the raw material from? Which states is it coming
As I
from?
said, basically, see, in India, we do have 11 coastal states and island territories, in which, currently we are just exploiting this sustainably in west coast of India. Basically, most of the landings are coming from Kerala. Then, we do have some coming from Tamil Nadu, which is southwest, southeast also you can say, and Karnataka, Goa, Maharashtra. These are the major landing areas for small pelagics where we do have, percent gears developed. So you can say that, right now, 5 states.
Great. Peru is one of the largest fish meal and fish oil producers with about three-fourth share in the global fish meal and fish oil production, I guess.
No, 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 not three-fourth, maybe half, nearly 40% of the total global production. See, when we say global production is at 5 million tons, Peru is at 1.5 million tons. So you can say it is making one third, not three-fourth.
Okay. And its coastline is one third of our coastline.
No, I want to correct you here. It is not even one third, it is one fourth of India.
Okay, but it's way lesser than our coastline. So what is the gap? Is it the management issue, or haven't we exploited or sustainably exploited our current sources of raw material?
See, I'll give you answer in 2 points. One point is okay, Peru. They have a very good fisheries management. They have championed past many years in fish meal production. They have many things in place, and basically their markets were China, Europe, so they have got their own standards developed, and they have their IMAR pay, which does acoustic survey and gives a report, and they have a Humboldt current, which is a good thing for upwelling of this species, because this species basically depends on the uh, monsoons, upwellings, and these phytoplanktons and zooplanktons are basically their food. So I have learned that there is no mouth for this fish. They are not fully generated. They just do the filter feeding, and they come from a very low trophic zone. Though they are healthy, uh, taste good, but they are not preferred by the populations as a major food. People prefer big plates. So this fish is abundant, and its biology is so vast that it can multiply very fast, and the landings are so much. Even after catering the domestic consumption, Peru has been able to make 1.8 million 1.5 million tons of fish meal. And similarly, when you talk about India, I just told you that India is only concentrated in 5 states, that is in west coast, and IMI has been closely working with the government, and also on One India, One FIP. In this movement, we've been discussing with the government about our waste streams, which are unused, are going for landfills. We estimate, very well our aquaculture size, we estimate inland waste is to a tune of 4 million tons. Currently, with 2 to 2.2 million tons of fish, we are the third largest producers. So we do have opportunity in inland waste, and if this kind of waste is been processed, we will be leading the world in the most sustainable fish meal industry, because majority of it is coming from currently, I think, world inland waste, not inland, from the waste. Fish meal which is made is around 35%, but India can achieve 60 to 70% only if we utilize this. Further, we do have opportunity. Gujarat, we have a very big coastline which is nearly 2000 kilometers compared to the coastline which we are currently operating. It has a very big coastline and the resource is there, but due to certain reasons, small pelagic fishery is not developed over there. No gears are developed, but we see is as an unexplored resource. Even east coast post harvest losses are almost 35%. There is no fish meal industry. It will be coming very soon. Our industry people will be exploring the opportunities in east coast, because this waste is going for landfills. It's no use, no revenue generated. Not only that, we are talking to the government and explaining them that we need to develop a small pelagic fishery and the gears over the east coast, which has very good potential. As we all know, the Bay of Bengal, it is highly fertile. So we need to develop this, and it would be coming in days. And India would be a number one fish meal producer.
That sounds interesting. I mean, I didn't know about the potential of India in this sector. If we were to talk about where India stands to contribute in the future, given that global fish meal and fish oil production is expected to grow marginally by 1 lakh to 1.5 lakh million tons, the opportunity is clearly there, but it is competitive and very limited, right? Where does India fit into this trajectory, and how can it play a significant role, or I would say a strategic role, in driving that growth?
Richa, a critical fact that often gets overlooked. India is not protein deficient. India is a protein abundant country which produces nearly 3 times of its domestic requirement for fish meal and fish oil, and already exports approximately two-thirds of its production to meet global demand. India is not just a domestic supplier, it is an active and significant contributor to the global marine ingredient supply chain. What makes this even more compelling is that this position has been achieved while substantially underutilizing the Indian actual resource potential. The full extent of our Indian EEZ and offshore resource remains largely untapped, meaning we have enormous growth potential. This reframes the entire conversation. The strategic imperative for India is not simply to protect its protein resource and add value incremental way. It is to responsibly unlock its production potential, elevate its global market position, and establish itself as the world's leading marine ingredient powerhouse. The opportunity is not defensive, it is decisively expansionary, I guess.
I had a podcast with Dr. Brett, uh, technical director at IFO. He narrated me a very good story about Chile. Chile is one of the countries who were doing exports massively. And then they adopted a strategy wherein they started instead consuming that fish meal and fish oil to support their own domestic consumption. And alongside, they also started their salmon farming. And how smartly they preserved their own nutrients in the supply chain and converted fish meal, fish oil into a premium feed, right? So, looking at their story, What is India's strategy? How do you think we should balance growth, food security, and resilience without compromising the very foundation we are building on?
The story which Mr. Brett told you about chili is very true, because I've been interacting with some chili producers. Even they told me the same thing, that protect your resource. Earlier, as you said, na Chile used to export fish meal. They were also one of the largest producer, but later they made a strategy that we worldwide there is a shortage of fish meal. We do have enormous fish meal, and they converted that fish meal into valuable asset, protein security, and premium market access. This is what we need to learn from Chile. India is standing at a similar position today. We have enormous fish meal. World doesn't have it. We need to protect it from the eyeing world. So, what we have to do is we have to follow the same footprints what Chile has been doing. We need to develop our own premium feed. You can say that compound feeds and inland farming, premium fish farming. Right now, I'm seeing that this is happening in India. Even in this tropical climate, we are able to grow the premium fish like trout, rainbow trout, in a environment, controlled environment. So this move is a very good strategy for India, and we see that we can use our resource to value add it. Even if we today value add it in feed, utilize our substantial surplus capacity in the feed industry, and make a premium feed. 1 kg of fish meal can be converted into a value add which is 6x. 15% in feed, you can make 1 kg to 6 kg feed. That means India can value add, grow, we will have more volume. You know very well that we do have most of the resources to make the feed. Fish meal being a benchmark, we have it. Instead of diluting it with some non-conventional or novel products which are marketed as LCA level carbon footprints, we need to concentrate on this kind of similar growth story of Chile. And what Brad said was really inspiring, and India should be learning from it. We should follow the same footprints of Chile, and India should look into value additions. It is not an just addition, it is a multiplication. The revenues may soar up like anything. We have skill, we have
Yes.
resource, we have our own farms, we have our own feed, we are the largest producers, we are the largest, one of the largest exporters, and we are also the largest producers, top among the top 3 producers fish meal. So, as I told you earlier, we have untapped resources also. This gives an economic advantage that at current situation we have 2/3. You can see that currently we are exporting 2/3. Where is it going? Which are the top 5 countries buying from us? Top 5 countries who have their own resource, who have their own oceans, who have their own feed, who have their own culture. If you want, I can name Japan, Vietnam, Taiwan, China, and Turkey, for example. Why are they buying our fish meal? That is the question here, because they are value adding it. Because many countries do not have resource. They have climate which supports the premium fish like salmon, trout, and black shrimps. They need feed. Today we are selling at 1700, $1800. If you value add it, we can sell it more. It also implies same on the fish oil. Today we are supplying raw crude basis. Most of the countries are buying it and they are doing the value addition, which can be done here. So we need to protect our resource and follow the footprints of Chile. That would be a very good strategy for protecting our resource on eyeing world, from the eyeing world.
Do you mean we should stop selling or exporting fish meal and fish oil, instead value add it, make premium feed and then export?
Yes.
And do not right now prioritize on exploiting the remaining resources?
No.
Is it that case?
No, I didn't say that. But one thing is for sure that we have resource. In India, there is a saying, you have butter, you can make give anytime. So we do have resource. By meantime, we need to also have proper regulations and management, fisheries management, through which we can sustainably harvest. But first thing, our priority should be our inland resource, the waste from the inland resource. That gives an advantage for us, because world, as I said earlier, around 35% is coming from the waste. So we can also, if we responsibly use our waste from the inland source, with developing some infrastructure for segregations, collections, we can be the market leader. Because only waste, if we incorporate today, it will not even increase our capacity. It will also give an image that majority of the raw material processed is from the waste. So India can, with current position, if we only exploit, if we not exploit, if we can utilize this waste, then we can achieve 60 plus from the waste. So it will be very big advantage for our country.
So we discussed that India has a clear potential, right? Merely increasing production will not help us. Of course, we have to have the market with us, so that our productions, our demand and our market go hand in hand. How do you feel, what should be our strategy if we were to choose a road or choose a roadmap where these three elements go together, so that there is no risk of only increasing production whereas we don't have the market, we have the market, we don't have the production? And what is the essential role of the policy makers to ensure that we go on this roadmap smoothly and we grow gradually?
It's a good question, Richa. I would like to highlight few things. I've been closely working with this Fisheries Ministry, Department of Fisheries, and many other researchers, FSI, CMFRI, CFT. See, government is not quiet. They are not sitting quiet. Government is doing a lot behind the doors. Recently, you saw that traceability framework was launched. See, in India, the Fisheries Ministry came into existence just 5-6 years back. We were blank papers. Now, slowly, the ministry understands the world's certification bodies and other FTAs or other European countries, like recent FTA with US. It clearly demands traceability. So we have come up with that. IMIA also is closely working with the ministry, and we were also part of that launch
Yes.
on World Fisheries Day
Yes.
2025. That clearly exhibits that our role was there. Also, IMIA also is a part of standardization. So we are developing standards, we are developing guidelines, SOPs and frameworks. Even for National Fisheries Improvement Framework, we are working on it, so that we align with the current regulations, not only country regulations. We are welcoming the third party certifications. No, we want to be perfect in all the way. So you need not to think that we may increase more fish meal or not concentrate on feed. See, feed growth you know very well. We just need to cope up with it. The growth of feed is
Yes.
almost 10 to 12% per annum. So accordingly we will grow. See, right now we have surplus. We have time to do all this developments. We will develop landing centers. We will develop segregation centers. We will develop the gears which are missing. So gradually we will match the growth, and our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji's vision 2030 clearly gives a mandate for the growth of this sector. There are so many schemes, and very soon you will see that there will be PMMSY 2 coming, that will promote the waste to wealth concept, where all the inland waste would be properly segregated. See, today we have states, we have center, but there is a false narrative that states have their own regulations. No, center is the main which makes the rules, regulation, framework, Fisheries Act, and the states have to follow that, match that. And center has a command center where one command goes, all state representatives, all fisheries secretaries come to one platform, and we are one. We are not like USA, many countries in one continent. We are a country with small states, but we are India first. So you need not to worry about the growth. The government is working, and IMIA has been closely working with them, and we are also sharing our experience, knowledge to the government, what is happening, how we need to be at par, what world needs today. See, sustainable advocates are there, like Marine Trust, GSA, MSC. They have their own standards. We are little uh, slow, because these standards were championed by Europeans and West Coast. But in India, slowly will develop. Then we can also try to explain the situations. It is not similar like 4 vessels are there or 10 vessels are there. They are going and catching, and the outcomes are they have a technology and other things are developing. So India will slowly cope up. We have to see the ecosystem. So hopefully ecosystem based approaches would be highly recommended for our country, which we are trying to highlight it to the world. And you need not to worry about the growth. It will happen. It will take its own course. Growth of aquaculture, which is evident, and you can see last 10 years 95% growth is there in our aquaculture feed productions. So the demand also will continue, and we will fulfill our domestic requirement first, and also we have an option to scale up value added into other products like fish protein hydrolysis, fish silage, where we cannot immediately install fish meal industry. We can do this fish silage. Then apart from that, there are enormous potential like bioactive enzymes. Then if we can do the segregation and proper storage, we can also use this waste to make protein powders. I've recently seen one of the company in India has already launched it from the waste. And even cosmetic industry also can come forward, and fish meal industry is a biorefinery. Every plant in India is not like big, not like Peruvians, thousands of tons. We are 400 to 600 tons capacity, but for value adding it, we have knowledge, we have buying power, our factories are getting the raw material, we have skill. We just need to bring in the technology for value add. That can be done. That can be done along with this fish meal process. So India has got very good potential, and fish meal is undervalued here. That is the challenge. We do not have any other challenge. Traceability also is not a challenge. All the data are there, just fragmented. We need to consolidate everything and put it in one. GDST, I was part of one of the meeting. I heard them speaking, they have developed some software. So India will take that path. We will also, follow the footprints of, FAO recommendations. Then, we are the WTO. We can also, say that WWF. We can be a powerhouse with the current situation, growth accordingly our needs.
So, Dr. Dawood, I have seen you participating in a lot of government programs, and I observe that you voice out strongly around advocating for sustainability in Indian marine ingredient sector. And I'm sure you would have the first-hand information of the latest policy developments. I know that during our discussion you have mentioned a few of the developments, but in case if you feel that something has missed out that we should speak about, why don't you expand on that? Would you like to do that?
I can. There is nothing hidden.
Yeah.
Hidden.
Yeah.
See, government policies are for everyone,
Yeah.
and there is nothing as such which has been hidden. See, Indian fisheries and marine ingredient sector is transforming rapidly to power the aquaculture growth and hit the ambitious 1 lakh crore export targets. The defining shift is repositioning the marine ingredients from byproduct to a strategic industry essential for feed efficiency and aquaculture productivity. There are four pillars. Pillar number one, value addition and circular economy. Practices are turning byproducts into high value marine ingredients backed by the active government support. Second pillar, a robust domestic standards and traceability system is being built to close the certification gaps and reduce the import dependency. Third, new regulations are unlocking responsible access to EEZ and high seas resource, increasing the raw material availability while easing pressure on coastal fisheries, all with the full traceability. Fourth is PMMSY2 Phase 2, which is coming, provides comprehensive government backing across the entire value chain from fishing vessel to the processing and the export infrastructure. Cutting across all of this is the firm commitment to the sustainable and responsible growth anchored in our National Fisheries Improvement Program, national standards, compliances, and strong collaborations between the government, IMIA, and the research institutes. The direction is very clear, Richa. Scale first, grow right, and sustain long.
I'm very excited to be a part of this journey of India's growth story. And I've always been advocating for the last 1 year that India is at a cusp of a seafood revolution. And the way you are describing about our latest policy developments and the strategy of India, it is clear to me that it will pave a way for everyone to thrive. Where everyone, small scale farmers, small scale fishermen, medium scale farmers, the entire fraternity is sharing the resources equitably, unleashing blue revolution and positioning India as one of the transparent, responsible and sustainable country.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. See, I've been working along, the ministry. Our association IMIA is part of many such initiatives and programs where the government is working really hard to achieve, to support this, not only these kind of pillars which I said. See, the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, he knows blue economy, 2030 is the target. To achieving the target, I don't want to tell the target again and again, but we would be, doing it above and beyond. Marine ingredients will play a vital role here. See, the waste stems are more than our landings and the inland waste that can play very important role. And even recently I was part of seafood exporters meeting. See, I heard our honorable fisheries minister Lalan Singh ji and ministers of states, they were clearly telling that sustainability, traceability is our motto. We need to grow along with it. We have resource, we have barriers. So they are working in all the angles. Even IMIA challenges were well heard, and the government has said that government will fully support us, and they also very clear that we need to go as per the FAO guidelines. Sustainability in everything, the whole value chain has to be sustained. Every gram of fish has to be utilized, whether it is waste or the fresh. Lot of infrastructure developments are going, cold storage, logistics. Government has allocated huge budget. Today I can say that India is the only country who is this much concentrating on this sector. The ministers, every day there is a meeting in the ministry. Our secretary, honorable Lekhi Abhilash Lekhi ji, every day he has 1, 2, 3, 4 meetings, and I've been part of multiple meetings. I couldn't reach everywhere, but I have got all the opportunities. They are hearing us, and also accordingly they are doing things. See, we have requested for our national fisheries improvement framework, which is underway very soon. See, first of all, we should protect our doors,
Yes.
and we are not against third party certifications. Let them come. The mandate for them is they have to align with our framework, and the we have signed WTO, which clearly mandates it's a sovereignty of our country to control the trade, control our exports, develop our product. We are discussing that Marine Trust is one of the champion in certification for marine ingredients. So there are certain misconceptions which have been going around, and certain trade syndicates have been influencing them. So hopefully I see a future, a bright future. We hope that one day marine GDP would overtake the agriculture GDP. And
Wow.
with our coastlines, with our size, and our east coast Bay of Bengal, very well, there are huge resource. Then Arabian Sea is highly fertile, the monsoons, we have a very beautiful fishery. So wherever we need to improve, we are going. And even Andaman, Nicobar, these two islands constitutes more than 25 to 30% of our coastline.
Yes.
Even
Yes.
these are in our list. IMIA is soon going to reach there and do certain researches. And also for your kind information, we've been doing a lot of things which nobody knows. IMIA has initiated DNA barcoding, molecular characterization, as well as fisheries dynamics. And there is little bit misconceptions here and there which we are trying to highlight it scientifically, biologically, as well as the ecosystem wise. See, this is what FAO says. I think what you said is right. You will see, and the world will see what is India, what is our potential. India has always been a center of attraction in many things, in our defense, in our policies, and hopefully India will be the number one marine ingredient producer. This is my
Wow.
dream. I've been dedicated my life on this. last 3 years, I do not concentrate on anything else. I am thinking how and where I can push these things to the government.
Wow, it feels very inspiring. There is an emergence of novel ingredients nowadays, and I just recently had a podcast, my first podcast with Biofly Proteins. They're the manufacturer of BSF and silkworm, and they claim that these novel ingredients are scalable, they have low emissions, more sustainable, and also can replicate the nutritional profile of fish meal and fish oil. What are your views about this innovation?
It's so good to be true. Which the whole episode I've been telling you, we are put insufficient. We are not against it. Huh. It is a new invention and which is going to support the countries, landlocked countries who do not have their fish meal. See, importing the fish meal from other countries, and you know very well there is a shortage. In coming days, fish meal will become a luxury complementing product to the feed. So, India doesn't need that. We do have a novel ingredient. Nothing can compare with it. Insect meal somewhere comes nearby, but the hype around it is overrated. I did my own research and I have written an article which is going to be published very soon. You will know many things from that. And I won't comment much on it, but if you dig more, I have to open everything to you.
Let me quote what Mr. Ramakant Akula, the CEO of the Water Based Limited, said. Water Based Limited is one of the India's biggest feed mill, and I wanted to take an opinion from the big feed mills. So he said that, Richa, it's a very good innovation. However, it has to be affordable and it should not disrupt the economics of the market. What do you think about that?
Do we really need it? I'm
Okay.
wondering that what he said is right. See, even in my research which I mentioned and article, I am clearly highlighting that it is talking about carbon footprints from the waste streams. Yeah, it is good. But do you think that waste which is coming can be traceable? That will not have metals, how you say that, metals and toxins, then pesticides, bad quality. So there are few things. Okay, it has been promoted with the waste and circular economy, but today I am seeing that the protein contents are not stable. See, what feed industry today needs is constant supply, constant protein in their feed formulas. They can't keep on changing. When you say about waste streams, even fish meal industry is using waste. You can compare it with that. Then the fish meal industry's waste would be better than in the lower carbon footprints. And when you go further in amino profile, I went in detail. I researched it back and back, and everywhere I saw that to make it more appealing, near competent to our product, it needs to be defatted. Again, the cost will go up. Again, the carbon footprint will raise for the energy used, and to make it protein equal, you need to feed the animal with protein, like alternative source. I can say that you need to feed it with fish meal itself to get fish meal qualities. So when you do that, and if you calculate other parameters, its digestibility, FCRs, per unit cost is more than fish meal, and it has been currently wrongly projected. It's an alternative. You need to add, supplement it with lysine and other missing ingredients in that fish meal which is being a novel from the ages, which has standard, which has, if you need 60, you get a constant 60 supply, 65. Our fish meal can reach up to 72, and digestibility is almost 90 to 95%. What is the digestibility of insect meal? How well it is tolerated by the animal? There are very few researchers, but we are not against it. See, we are just saying that stop comparing it with fish meal. You want to do it, but nobody can push this thing on us. It is not that you push something and you take out something. You are saying that India exports. That means we are giving it out. And why we are giving it out is we have sufficient. Do I need to dilute my novel ingredient, the benchmark of the feed with this? No, no need. There are certain information gaps. That there is no fish meal in India. Fish meal is very limited. Fish meal is expensive. You tell me, which country survives on import? When you have own domestic fish meal, we need to promote it, educate it. Even the government has to come forward and should promote it, saying that fish meal we have to use it. It has to be in the standards which we are developing now. We will see that fish meal, our own raw material should be added, instead of creating this. Again, what happens is you are doing in controlled environment for the insect meal. You need electricity, you need temperature control, you need processing. Again, overall the carbon footprints will raise, and it will be much beyond our fish meal production. So let us more see, as I represent marine ingredients, to be frank with you, see, I know a lot about it, and I learned about this product, and I've been part of I've been addressing some students in some universities. Every student wanted to use fish meal as a ladder to replace something. Most of them were insect meal. So I explained them that it is currently not required. There might be a day, let the world do the research. We can take the research from them and we can develop. And waste to wealth, if it is helping, is okay. It's good thing. Let us see, it can support our poultry, pet food in case. We are not against it. We are okay with it, but they should stop comparing with fish meal.
So, Dr. Dawood, since we don't have scarcity of resources, what do you think, will our fish meal fish oil continue to be used as a bulk commodity, or it will transition to a strategic resource?
Richa, see, premium doesn't mean luxury. We have premium resource, and this premium resource is currently only being used in shrimp feed, but I've seen recent government developments where we are culturing the rainbow trout. We have cold
Yes.
climates in the north. In the south, in the hottest city also I saw, they have inland culture started. So this is something new which is demanding the premium feed. Coastal aquaculture. Coastal aquaculture, you see, we are rearing this sea bass. That also demands, high protein diet. Again, it is a premium product. Then, salmon culture. So, slowly India is diversifying and the demand for premium feed is increasing. So, we see that, a strategic nutrition which we have has to be strategically used, and we can multiply this resource into a finished product. And very well, premium fish sells at a premium price, and most of the feed industry who will move towards premium, they will also move towards global premium feed. We can start from here and reach the globe with our premium feeds, with our surplus capacities. And you don't see it as a bulk commodity. You know very well there is a shortage of, and I think there will be a day where, as I said, it's not luxury. Fish meal would be used as a luxury product. Just to enhance the palatability of the feed, they will use 5%, 3%, 2%, but it won't stop. But we do have good quantity, good resource. Hopefully, I see that it would be a strategic. And I have already informed you about the government policies. They know very well what is fish meal now, how we have to use it. So the policies are framed accordingly, and you will see fish meal will be a strategic ingredient in our feeds. We will see that how it is benefiting, whether it is only benefiting from fish meal or whether it is benefiting from our seafood exports. The government is there, they will look into it, and hopefully everything good will come very soon.
So I was reading an article on LinkedIn, and that article was written by our Honorable Commerce Minister, Shri Piyush
OLG.
Goyal ji, and he was talking about deal to delivery. So in that article, what he mentioned was that we have entered into FTAs with multiple countries because India is at that situation where the world wants to partner with us because we are one of the fastest economies,
With resource.
right, and one of the largest democracies, right, and right now amidst all these regulatory pressures and market irregularities, this is the time when countries are trying to partner with other countries. They want some country who they can grow for a long term, right? And India is at that position. India
Strategic partner.
can become a strategic partner to those countries.
Yes.
Europe is one of the countries
Yes.
where India sees a lot of opportunity, right?
Yes.
So he said this beautifully, that we have created an environment for the industry to flourish. Now it depends upon us. The ball is in our court. It depends on us how do we make the most of it.
Our move.
Yes. So rightly and I feel fish meal, fish oil will play a significant role in realizing the potential of India
Yes.
in terms of increasing our export revenues,
Yes.
in terms of strengthening our domestic consumption, in terms of paving a way to a level playing field where everybody is gaining from our resources, right? I feel an immense role being played by your industry.
From fish meal perspective, I can say that we are late, but we are not last. See, as our Honorable Commerce Minister Dr. Piyush Goyal ji said, is very true. See, Government of India is constantly working to develop a platform for the exporters, producers, and also these FTAs. It is not an easy thing. We need to have very diplomatic relations, strategic relationship, give and take. Somewhere sometimes we go to take something, but we have to pay a big price. But our Commerce Minister, I have seen him, known him for almost a decade in this position. He has never been unsuccessful. Whatever he thinks and plans, he goes there and he does it and come. Even with the countries like China, I have seen that he had a dialogue, he had a discussion about our fisheries and our marine ingredients, and China instantly allowed to register our plants. Before we were not allowed. So I am saying that this kind of initiatives are going on. It is not there.
Yes.
It is there.
Absolutely.
It is there, and our country, including our fisheries ministry, they are doing many things. They are traveling. They are giving their time. So today we need to show what we can do, how we can make use of this opportunities which we are being given. This is a policy support for us. And infrastructure is coming from one side, from under PMMSY, Blue Revolution. Enormous amounts are being spent by the government in infrastructure. And as a developing country, for sure, if we are late, we will benefit more. We will learn more from Europe, from US. These recent FTAs signed with US and Europe will bring about lot of changes. Even traceability is one
Absolutely.
of it.
Yes.
Very important role, and we've already started. I'm seeing it. Our national fisheries traceability framework has covered everything. That includes waste, inland, and our marine ingredients. I hope so. As you wish, and as it is said in the article from the minister, and we are seeing it. India will be a leader of marine ingredients and will be a protein powerhouse.
As the industry moves towards the greater use of byproducts, how do you ensure that this shift does not create a green illusion?
See, there is no question of green illusion. Under PMMSY, waste to wealth is coming, and it is evident we have our domestic production, we have waste. Logically, there is 30 to 70% processing waste, even markets waste. We just need to do proper segregation, collection, handling, and proper preservation. These are the things which will be on records. How much we produce, how much we consume, how much we export, how much was the waste. So there won't be any green illusion from this. So you need not to think this.
Okay. So I have a very interesting question for you. Okay, this is around sustainability. So traditionally, metrics like FIFO, fish in, fish out, and FFTR were used to assess sustainability. But now there's a shift towards LCA, life cycle assessment. What is the awareness level of LCA in India, and how do you believe that India at this stage will be able to cope up with these standards and metrics?
Yeah. See, I have studied it in detail FIFO and other measurements which they were using the calculation the metrics. See, they might be outdated. They might not cover full, like biodiversity, then your carbon footprints, and this LCA which I studied personally, life cycle assessment from 0 to 100, is been championed by the Westerners. It was born in 70s in US. Further, it was fully developed in Europe. And I also happened to learn about how they calculate for carbon footprints. I wanted to justify in my article with insect meal and the fish meal from the waste. So here, which I found out was, see, currently, to be frank, India doesn't have any technology. It is not prepared, but we are seeing that they championed it last 50 years. Now they are making it a global standard. So it is not that whatever they did, whatever they have. I can give you some examples. In US, they allow GMO. So yeah,
Genetically
GMO seed.
modified.
In India, they do not allow. When you are looking into it, India is on the right path. US thinks otherwise. They think volumes, productivity. When you compare that, we cannot compete it. Second thing, vice versa, we are also championed in some things like we have gobar gas, the gas made from the cow dung. They do not know that. We are not forcing on them to include it or add it. Then we also make cow dung as a biomass to use it as a firewood for cooking. they do not do it. We have certain unique things which we have to tell them that we will complement it with your championed LCA. It is not that they cannot force on us. It will take time. When they took 50 years to champion, we may need 5 years, 10 years. That angle has to be looked in, and it has to be discussed in detail, and the government of India has to uh, use their standards to complement our own standards. And we should tell them that we do have this, we will prove our carbon footprint from this, our biodiversity. We have our research units like CMFRI, FSI, and so many oceanic studies universities, and we can capitalize them, and we can start developing. And we are not telling that we will not learn. We will learn. We are ready to learn, and we will do it very soon. So LCA, these measurements, like even when you see in traceability, they have big vessels, whereas we have small trawlers and purseners. Maybe their big vessels can catch more than 50 trawlers what we can, our trawlers can catch. So it is easy for them, a press of a button they can get a traceability. They have a technology, they are advanced technology, we are yet to develop our technology. So all these factors are there, but the government is working, and they are formulating how well we can adapt it. And we do have FTS, and that means we need to adhere that. And also we need to highlight it, the situations, ground realities, ecosystem approach. Our ecosystem is something, we have livelihood, they do not have livelihood. They have a commercial fishing, we have livelihood fishing. All those things has to be discussed, and hopefully we will come up with a greater solution. And sooner or later we have to adapt it. And there is nothing else beyond this. This standard is the benchmark standard in calculating the metrics. So hopefully India should adopt slowly, but at, with our inclusions of our realities, ground realities has to be highlighted.
Okay. So, Dr. Dawood, we have previously discussed about imports that India is importing because we have shortage of certified marine trust material. Is that true? Is
Yes,
that
currently we have a very big shortage, and El Nino at Peru is making it more worst.
okay? Don't you think we should prioritize to bring more of our domestic fish meal, fish oil production under the responsible sourcing framework so that our dependency on imports get reduced?
Yes, Richa. I have personally dedicated 3 years of my life. I was the second largest producer in India, but when I started working on this, today I'm not even in the bottom two. I have dedicated, I have lost many things, but we are continuing it. We have so many setbacks, but we have not lost hope. And our vision, One India, One FIP, very soon you will be seeing at what level we are working, what kind of difference we have brought it.
Before we dive into this, let's talk about our pelagic resource. If we look at India's oil sardine story, especially in Kerala, landings dropped sharply from over 3 lakh tons in 2011 to almost 13,000 tons in recent years. But at the same time, we know sardines are highly abundant and also volatile. Climate driven, highly influenced by environmental factors. They have also these boom and bust cycles. So, how should we understand this decline?
Uh, if you look it into lens of science, you will understand it has been misconceptions, and lack of representation of our industry, which paved the way for this MLS, permanent MLS on our industry. See, during 2016 we had an El Nino, most of the stocks declined. It is not only the sardine, the science behind it. When you deep dive into biology of this fish ecosystem, you see that sardines are never uh, affected by the fishing efforts. Yes, MLS can be put only as a complement or secondary measure, not the permanent, stringent or the first. But there was no organization to ask why and how. And once they put it temporarily, but they have continued it. But IMI has been asking this. So the situation there was, the decline was due to policy gap, not because of fishmeal industry or fishermen. When there were signs of El Nino, it was the responsibility of our scientific body to inform the fishers that there is a situation where we need to control our efforts. It continued, fishing continued, we never knew it, the outcome was decline. But see, when you see the whole last 50 years data, there has never been a decline. Only when El Nino is there is a decline. That means we had to, we need to advance it. Proper managements are required. Our science and research has to come forward. Inform the industry, inform the fishers, inform the boat owners that this species, this period is going to get affected. Then we can ask them to reduce the landing, catch only half of what is available, like quota system what is used in Peru. These are the measures. The measures are not in place, but we will see soon that this kind of anomaly doesn't happen again. But you saw later on 16th there was a boom bust. This species recovered. By 19th there was one more La Nina or something, but I am not sure exactly. La Nina affects in a different way. Too much of monsoon, rain, floodings, that also had affected in 2019. But now recent graph shows that there is a good incline in sardine, and it is also proving that it recovers very fast. It has boom bust. We need to study more on this species, and you can see when you calculate 2011, when you say 2011, what was our fish meal production? It was 100,000 ton. Today we are producing from the same location, we are producing 550,000 tons plus around 0.6 million. That clearly is evident that we are below the sustainable yield, and it is recovering very fast. And we need more insights from the researchers and scientific bodies and the government to understand this, not just simply putting stringent bans. Why MLS cannot be put on this? I have read so many articles, even so many conventions of UNFAO. They clearly says that this species cannot be put on MLS. The reason is they come in shoals, big smalls are together, you cannot separate it. When you harvest it, you will have big and small. Again, there will be a challenge of juveniles. So also this species mostly do not reach their spawning period, because it all depends on the food resource available. Then what happens is, if there is limited resource, if it is too big, now we are not catching it, we are holding it, that means resource depreciates very fast. Then it migrates in search of food. When resource depreciates, malnutrition and weakness, and most of the fish die. And also if we do not harvest it when it is in our waters, it dies. It is very short lived. It is not like a demersal species, like which spawns after 4 years of its life, and lives up to 10 years. we need to understand the biology, we need to understand the science behind it. And this fish, see, when I started working on fisheries improvement program, I got so much interest. I have almost studied 70, 80 articles on small pelagics. It is not only sardine, anchoveta, then scad, then mackerel. These are all single family, and they all climate driven. So let us not say that 2000 decline was due to overfishing. No, 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 no. Huh.
Okay.
Even the certification agencies like Marine Trust, MSC, they never say that sardine is unsustainable. They say that responsible sourcing. That means be more responsible. As I said, early warnings, regulations in place, control the harvest when there is any situation like El Nino. This is what they are telling. They are not telling that you are unsustainable. We are taking it in a wrong way. Even Marine Trust clearly says that if you do not be responsible, maybe you will lose this fish, which I don't think so we will lose it, because it is spread across the coast in Arabian Ocean. So El Nino might be affecting southwest coast, but northeast coast the species will be there. And recently I had an argument, and I learned that sardine in Indian waters is same as sardine in Oman, oil sardine. So that clearly shows that how much it is been spread over in this ocean. So sustainability is not a concern. This fish is there since Egyptian, still there. I read somewhere during Egyptian period they used to catch sardine, ground it, and feed it to chicken. That same sardine is still there. There is no
Exactly.
major decline, and it also spawns multiple times in a season. And harvesting is the right strategy. You are losing the opportunity, one thing, then it is migrating or dying, and when they die they spoil the ocean beds with the carcass and ammonia formation, oxygen depletion. I've learned so many things, but I'm not a scientist to tell you deep into it. But there is a resource, we need to understand more about it, learn it. And our industry, fishmeal industry, is never telling that do not use it for human. See how it works is, it is abundant and the landings are very big, and consumption comes first, human comes first. This is our priority. We support this.
So yes, Brett also said the same thing, that it is sustainable, but it does not mean that it will remain sustainable. Hence, we need to have a proper fishery management plan to ensure that it continues to remain sustainable. What is your view on that? And
No,
is that the reason why we enter into FIPs?
no, I have met. I think I met Brett during some of the FO meetings which I used to attend in Portugal. Last was in Portugal. Before that, it was in Peru, and I have been active, member of IFO, and I see that IFO is the only organization today they advocate, and IMIA follows the same footprint. I have no comments on what Brett said. It is true that we need to have a proper management in place. This is what IMIA is trying to do. On a larger scale, we advocate one India, one FIP, because India is one. Even the states are having their small 12 kilometers radius nautical miles, which is a state subject. None of the person gears which are approved are allowed to catch within the 12 nautical miles, and national subject is, even states are the national subject. So sardine is highly migrative, it can come in and go out also. So national level FIPS will really work, and it will give a result, not like current FIPS which we are just manipulating the data, I can say.
We will come back on that. But
Okay.
before that, I want to bring about one of the debates around Indian oil sardines regarding food security.
Okay.
Globally, around 70% of forage fish goes into feed. And in regions like West Africa and India, these fish are also a staple food. It raises a valid concern. Using sardines for fish meal a threat to food security. How should India balance this food versus feed debate?
So you'd like to know narrative of Africa or India?
You can comment
See,
on
both are different
both.
ecosystems. See, you cannot compare what is happening in US and what is happening in Europe and what is happening in India. The ecosystem approach. See, even UNFAO clearly says that you need to have an ecosystem approach. Okay, we'll come to India. Yes, sardine is consumed in India, especially in Kerala and some part of Karnataka. Tamil Nadu, it is called dirty fish. They don't like it. Maharashtra, dirty fish. They don't like it. Goa, not preferred. But some places they eat. Gujarat, they don't know what it is. So, understand why it is coming to fish meal industry. Is it fish meal industry paying better than the human price? Okay. I will tell you the costings, how it works, and what our IMIA in many meetings we have told the seafood exporters and others, and I have explained policymakers how I have explained them. I'll tell you. See, you need to see the biology, you need to see the ecosystem, availability. When in your coast, you need to harvest. If not, they die or migrate. This is one reason. So when you are harvesting it, how much is required for human is taken first. The lowest protein source available in India, I will tell you in Indian rupees, or if you want I can even convert it into dollars. The lowest protein source is chicken, animal source. That is 220 rupees, the lowest. Then comes other protein source, that is lamb, beef, whatever it might be, pork or duck, but the lowest is chicken. So how much do you think should be nutritional sardines? See, humans can afford up to 200 rupees, lowest 100 rupees, they can afford it. 1 kg of sardine will give you 40 counts, 30 counts, that means number of but one thing is, first the humans put the stake on it, they take it. Fish meal industry can never even compete with it. Then comes some exporters who are exporting to Australia, maybe for cat and dog food, like they are feeding it whole fish, and also some places canning. See, we are telling the industry, as an industry we are telling, see, we want you to use it for food first, because either you can develop market for export. Seafood exporters, I have personally told that either you develop a market for it, low canning, IQ fed, you smoke it, but it is so abundant, the volumes are so big and demand is so less. Sardine is not available only in India, many countries. It is spread across the globe. Cold water there is sardine, warm water there is sardine. So the demand and supply is not matching, and the abundance of this fish is causing it to go. See, why I would say that we play a crucial role in saving the protein, protecting the protein, and this protein again, you see, at the end it is transforming our food security. It is going into aquaculture. It has been kept for very long time for off season use. Here what happens is, we have landings and the size of landings are so big that we do not have that kind of cold storage. Even if we do have that kind of storage in some landing ports where we can keep it, the cost of storage is higher than the cost of the fish. If you store it for 3 months, the price becomes double. there is no market, there are no buyers for it. Maybe some places, they can utilize it and we welcome it. Reality is, fish meal industry cannot afford to pay more than 35 rupees. And exporters can easily buy for 50 rupees. Humans can easily afford it for 100 rupees. So there is no question of stealing it. See, no fisher or the agent will sell it for 35 rupees when they are getting 100 rupees from human consumption. See,
Yes.
this is a myth. It has been created. See, certain sectors which are declining, they are trying to, put everything on our fishery because they seeing that, we have so much. See, sardine is a target fishery. Most of the fishes are caught through purseaners and the traditional fishers with their traditional gears, artisans, and their small boats, non-motorized boats. And this fish, we are not even harming the ecosystem as it comes from a low trophic zone and it is a filter feeder. It consumes, it filters, it cleans our waters. It eats phytoplankton, zooplankton, and gives us 1 kg of meat. Not like, demersal fish, that ecosystem, it is like, hostile ecosystem where they eat their own species, juveniles. They eat, when you have done a small research on FIFO, I'll tell you, demersal fish eats 5 kg of fish to give you 1 kg of meat. Sardine is not even taking anything from the ecosystem, rather than it is cleaning it. So you have to see the biology of it, and it is not that the world doesn't know, they know it. FAO has mentioned this in so many conventions. I happen to read most of it, and even our regulatory body like CMFRI, scientific institution, they have been telling, and FSI have been telling. But one thing is that there was no industry association to ask why, where, and how. That is why these narratives are created. See, the major role, I will tell you quickly. Sorry, I am taking a lot of your time. See, major role here is our industry buys the unsold stocks, which spoils in next 6 to 8 hours. Maximum 6 hours you can hold it at the landing area. After that, the ammonia formation, decomposition starts. It is dead body. Fisherman is not bringing, live fish. They are bringing the dead bodies. When they bring the dead bodies, we are the one who is rescuing it them, giving a, fair price to the fisherman for the, product which is going to get spoiled and there is no buyers. What we do is we immediately convert it into a concentrated protein source and preserve it. The shelf life increases up to 2 years. This shelf life is an advantage where we are protecting the protein waste. We store it. See, aquacultures continue throughout the year. Landing, fish spawning, and our fish catching activities are limited. During monsoon, we do have catching bans. There are challenges that we are working with the government. IMIA has been, working in forefront. Many things which we are doing that still needs to be highlighted. Soon we'll highlight it. See, we are telling government that we need a biological catching ban, not this tangent one. See, we need to know this when in this fishery is a climate driven. We know very well. Sometimes monsoon differ, they advance or they come late, and we need to follow that. Our science community has to follow that. So recently, we have requested FSI, which is similar to IMARPE in Peru, to guide us in this so that we can harvest sustainably, and also the misconceptions created around are due to our policy gaps, which we are also addressing it. It is not that we will simply ask something to do and the government agrees. There is a proper research thing which we need to do it, and hopefully sardine will be recognized in India, and this fish will be known for its sustainability. And purseners, small fishers need more government support in this. We need to do a sustainable harvest. This is what we need to do. And all these rumors that human food, if it was human food, you tell me, do you think that when you can buy for 100 and I'm going and asking for 30-35 rupees, oh, you have cartels, you buy in bulk, all these are reasons. We are ready. I'm telling you on your podcast today. It will go to millions. I will tell you, IMIA will stand food first. We will have one day workshop on this in India. We've been doing a lot of workshops, stakeholder meetings, representing many government programs, international programs, learning, and also we are highlighting our sustainability efforts. So on your program, I am going to tell you, when it comes to food, IMIA is with the food first, and we will never try to steal it. We have other resources. See, as I said earlier to you, inland waste is there. That is more than what we are catching now. There is other post-harvest losses. We will depend on that. Not that now the EEZ rules and regulations have been changed for sustainable harvesting of deep sea offshore resources. You know very well, there are
Yes.
species like lantern fish which are myctopide, mesopelagic. When I initially started working for FIP, this idea came to me. I traveled to Iran and one more country was Turkey to learn how they are harvesting it. I learned that these species are in middle of food chain. The- and they have some wax and some toxins, so human don't eat. And due to its stickiness and wax, the bottom dwellers, they have their own resource. See, believe me, there is enormous misconception. Even they say that in India especially, large fish food is sardine and we are caught. And I did a study on that. I tried to find which are the large fish. Basically sardine is the food of mammals, dolphins, then your whales, and your birds. Sometimes when they are weak, tuna attacks it. But normally, tuna cannot match the speed of this species. And it is a tiny, but they also say it as a mighty giant. Because when it is threatened, it forms shoals. The shoals are more than 1 kilometer in size. Any predator fish comes nearby it fears, thinking that something big is approaching them. So sustainability, it knows how it has to defend itself. That is why it is not become a food chain of demersal. And also I've learned that demersal have their own food chain. See, that ecosystem is a dark zone where they have their prey and predator. So they don't come up in the light to catch it. Sometimes they say, I also heard that in the night they come. But at that time, sardines are not easy to catch. So maybe I can say, see, I am not a scientist researcher, but I've learned from, while interacting with, principal scientists and, universities and from the students, I have understood, and also I did my own researches, understood that this fish is misinterpreted in some way. That is what IMI is trying to do.
Great.
Hope you understood.
Oh,
It was
yes.
too much for your brain, I guess.
No, so much to learn from you, because understanding these fishes and understanding the biology is itself an ocean of knowledge.
And I want to add it. See, when it comes to fishmeal, we only talk about sardine. See, there are multi-species which are used in India, and UNFAO says multi-species fishery is better than the single species fishery like Peru. When there is any climate change which is affecting the species, it takes longer time to recover. But in our case, if one species is affected, that might be scarred, or you can say mackerel, not sardine, or sardine, the other species will occupy the ecosystem and it will flourish. So we have seen that. We have seen sometimes there are some species, invasive species, and leather jackets are abundant. During that period, we have seen this El Ninos also. And seeing the last 10, 20, 50 years graph, we can say one thing clearly, that fishing has never affected sardine population. It is affected only during El Nino times. So we can say that El Nino is the one which is affecting the population, and we need to be more advanced. We need to bring more regulation, as you said that where it says that we need a management. Yes, we need the management. This is what IMA has been recommending. We are all our work is documented. We are all over internet. Not only internet, we have the records of our work. So this you won't be seeing in the small fragmented FIPs. They are just trying to manipulate the data. They are trying to manipulate fishing gears. Also,
I'm so amazed. How do you know so much? I think you must have read thousands of books and must have visited different countries, learned about their biologies. How come you have so much interest in this subject, being an industry person?
Richa, what to say? Last 3 years, I do not have any other work to do. I am reading the papers. I am doing my own research, and I'm writing the articles. I've almost, prepared almost 30 to 40 articles on this, because every point, I've gone to the programs and represented the sector. I always thought that I should be knowing more. This more made me study more, and I also liked it. See, most of the time I'm reading it, and today I can debate on it with you.
Great. Let's come back to your favorite section of the episode, which is talking about your baby, which is a FIP, and why because of your vision for one India, one FIP, you have been able to gather this wealth of knowledge.
Okay.
So you have a vision of one India, one FIP. But before talking about that, let's talk about the current FIPs which are going on in India.
Okay.
What is your views?
See, I have a very mixed view on this, but if I say something, no, it would be like people take me negative. But as an industry president, I have to put it like this: all these two FIPs, they are just greenwash. Nothing as such sustainability is happening. Rather than that, they are exploiting in many ways, using the gaps in the standards of marine trust. Uh, uh, a coastline which has limited approved gears are manipulated, datas are manipulated, and they are trying to do a cross border trades, change the traceability of that. See, it is already brought to the notice of the government, and our national framework will immediately bring a control on this. I don't want to say something bad about my country system, but uh, you cannot blame the country. Believe me, this is not the country which is doing. This is the the standards which have come in, and the approach, fragmented, small waves, business models, and nobody knows how much they produce, what is their capacity, how much is resource available in that coast which are approved, and how much they are claiming, how much is exported, how much is domestically used. See, this will not survive for a very long time. Especially Maharashtra case, I have seen many things. I know many things about Maharashtra, but in some other time I will tell you. This is not the platform to tell you what is happening there. But one factory gets the FIP, and they block all the stakeholders. It is nowhere on the guidelines on FAO. The FAO clearly says that fairness, equitable, transparency, accountability, traceability, then it comes sustainability. But let's hope for the best. Marine Trust will learn very soon the disadvantages of fragmented FIPs in our ecosystem. Especially for our ecosystem, this will never be successful. They might call one or two meetings, greenwash. This is what they will do. They will show something. We did this, did this. Maharashtra last 7 years or 8 years, things are going. Nothing has come out. A bigger one. But IMI, you see, we are working, silently working, even though we are ignored. Today, we were part of launch of National Traceability Framework. On what levels we had discussed with the government, how we have put things together, how we are interacting with the researchers, scientists. So many programs are conducted, everything is on record. And very soon, IMIA will show the world that our work is the real sustainability. And for India, we need a larger FIP. Believe me, you don't need multiple FIPs. Either you have a two FIPs, east and west, or one single FIP if it allows the ecosystem.
I'm actually shocked to hear your statements because I've just completed my podcast with Libby from Merin Trust, and we were just talking about the progress of the FIPS in India. So she said that, Richa, it's easy to run a small FIP because there are few players, and those few players have an understanding with each other, and it's difficult to pull others because they may not understand the importance of certified material. And of course, FIPs are not free. Whoever jumps into FIPs, they have to put in some amount of money, isn't it? So why don't you think it would be difficult to pull a lot of fish meal, fish oil factories in a single national level FIP, where you have to ensure that each one of the player participates in a way that doesn't create conflicts? And of course, this point I was thinking that national FIP means more volumes, isn't it? More volumes means more money going from the pockets. A lot of partners uh, coming into that, and that may create friction, because they may have conflict of interest somewhere. You know how it is. How do we make sure that it runs smoothly, provided, given the fact that we don't have our frameworks ready at this point in time, and there's a lot of work that goes into coordination between the states and between the center, and of course we have seen how FIPS works internationally. As per what I have been reading, from the articles, FIPS is very difficult, and it needs a lot of participation between different stakeholders, and government plays an important role because it's a subject matter, and it's so difficult to pull everyone together, who can move together with a common aim of growing together, right? um, I don't know how much truth is that into it, um, but this is what I have been hearing from the industry leaders. What is your views?
If you want to know from my lenses, I've been working on Fisheries Improvement Program since 2022. We brought all producers together under IMIE umbrella, and initially we progressed as Southwest Coast. We made it in a phase. We understand that larger phase. Earlier, it was my understanding that okay, we can divide it as a phase one, phase two, but my intentions were very much clear that FIP continues to the whole west coast. If start with southwest, it continues, not bring one more FIP, the cost factor. Second, I don't know from where this narrative came that larger stakeholders, lot of confusion. No, 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 no. UNFO clearly says, national level approach should be there. Industry association led FIPs should be promoted. rather than the small fragment. See, there are so many loopholes here, and the challenges which are going against our country. Not our, these certification bodies are not losing anything. See, in a same coast, west coast, you develop 2, 3, 4 FIPs. Do you think the outcome will be same? No. Every FIP will have different outcome, and again there are confusions, there are doubts on our system, and the false narrative also is there. See, I told you early, ecosystem based. Government of India has been actively doing lot of efforts, developing new frameworks, and soon you will see national fisheries framework is in progress. Here, the right way for Indian ecosystem is a national level FIP, which will be very fair, transparent, equitable, accountable, because Marine Trust is sitting in London. Their auditors are coming from other locations. They say third party auditors, but the payments are done through us only, no? So those auditors will have, if they don't give a favorable report, next time the client will not call them. See, we cannot say that it is very perfect and sustainable. What I have seen is these small FIPs currently are blocking all the stakeholders. The very reason they are entering the FIP is to block the national level FIP. IMIA was working on this since 2002. We formed the association. We appointed one lady called Dr. Nim, and uh, Duncan Leadbitter. He was our fisheries expert. We started this in 2022 by bringing all the producer members under IMI umbrella. The vision was straight. We develop a FIP and support our feed industry, who will be forced to import as they advance in their certification, that is GSA owned BAP certification. There was a condition, I think 75% of the fish meal used in your feed has to come from a responsibly sourced certified factory. We did not have. So we started this movement, and we appointed one lady called Dr. Nim. Her company name was Wisely. We've already paid her 250,000 US dollars for running this whip, and Duncan was our project manager, who is well known to IFO and Marine Trust, and also Pitipong from CP was part of this whip, and we've organized multiple stakeholders, and we have also invited GSA along with Devi Feeds and Key Traceability, Mr. Charles, to attend one of our stakeholder meeting, where they attended, and they were amazed to see that the larger FIP is coming. Marine Trust was well aware, and this meeting was highlighted in 2023 Global Roundtable in, I think if it was Spain or Peru, I'm not sure, where they highlighted it, Global Roundtable on Marine Ingredients, where the participants are almost Marine Trust, IFO, GSA, and we had got a lot of praises that this association work is commendable. We are working, and most of us are together, but we really don't know when and how a small FIP appears and it is been accepted. Then we are overlapping, and standard doesn't support the overlapping. It got delayed, but we never stopped working. We've been working. We've been constantly working on a national scale, and all the producers are in India are ready. They are looking for FIP.
If I can ask you one question, how many fish meal, fish oil factories you have right now in your association? Who are the members?
All 72, including
72 or 68?
no, I'll tell you.
Do we have 68
We
or
have
72?
72. See, I am from the industry, so I
Okay.
can tell you the exact figures.
Okay.
In India, there are currently 72, many more in pipeline, and all were our members. It was uniform. We did not drop anyone or leave anyone. uh, one of our member, who overnight, who was with us the whole journey, jumps out, takes our project manager, takes our fisheries expert, and applies with all our data. And he gets the FIP in 3 months. I was astonished, because we've been working 18 months, and
Since how long you have been applying with them?
it is last 3 years we have been working on this, and I've multiple times met Libby, and also we have discussed about the challenges, what happened, how. Then we were told to that reapply. Then we were told that we are overlapping. We also invited Dr. Nicola from Marine Trust, who attended one of the programs in Bangalore when we were part of that event called Sim Summit, which was in Chennai. And after that meeting, we invited her to come to Bangalore. Even she was there, and I myself personally visited London. They were aware, but we are still wondering how things went wrong. And recently, we also made an MOU so that these things is not happening, and the association work should not be undermined by this kind of activities. Suddenly, we see 2-3 members jumped out after signing an MOU. So, see, associations are formed under the our constitution, under the bylaws, and members are jumping out. I don't know why. What they are seeing in
See,
this?
what I can say at this point in time is that, again, Marine Trust is one of the credible bodies who are not only working in India, who are working across the world, right? And they have a very good rapport with the buyers, because of which they are market facing, because of which their standard is approved by ASC and BAP standards, right? So of directors who takes a call whether this FIP should be approved or should not be. They would have their own reasons. So what I can request you to place a request through this podcast to them, and we'll see how things turns out.
See, I'm not telling that Marine Trust is not reliable body. Yes, they have developed the standards. They are the champions in this sector. But also MSc, which is doing, and there are also open source. But only problem is lack of support and knowledge. We really don't know how things work. When we started, even after all this, we started working. We appointed one of the fisheries expert. Later, we were told to submit the FAP, and the FAP was like, we did all meetings, everything. FAP was not written for more than 1 year. And since then, we are locked. Then we have been told to, approach the, smaller FIPs. Then we are told that we are the duplicate FIPs. So this is a confusion for which, we are working on it. And our government, as I said, coming with this National Fisheries Traceable Framework that can solve our issues to an extent. And also,
Let's talk about that.
we will highlight it. See, it is not that, nobody is stopping me to highlight it. See, if there is something going wrong on the sustainability, this is what association is doing. See, all the interests have to be protected.
The way you have opened up, nobody opens up like that, and I genuinely see that you have had your ups and downs, and I see a lot of pain in your voice. When I say this, I mean it. And you are indeed a beautiful resource for our country. And I know one thing for sure, that if you are working truthfully on this national level FIPS, and if you're thinking about the country at large, if you're thinking about the survival of our industry, if you're thinking for the betterment of the fishermen, One day will come when you will get your share of hard work, and that day is not very far.
Thank you, Richa. Thank you for the kind words. But I see that we are approaching in the right direction, and you've been quite smart. You made me talk many things on this platform, but truth is truth. How much ever we hide now, it will always be there. If the beginning is good, the end is always good. So let's hope for the best, and our motto One India, One FIP still stands. All the producers are together and they are supporting this cause, and I would just want to the whole world to know that all producers in India want Fisheries Improvement Program, Improvers Program, IP program, either Marine Trust, MSC, or the Open FIPs. Anybody who wants to support us, please come forward. And even today, my personal choice should be Marine Trust, because we have worked on those standards, we have done assessment on those standards, and also I do have great respect for Marine Trust efforts. But in some place, maybe some miscommunication, or some people are misleading Marine Trust. So might be some problems which have arisen. Hopes to see good will come to India. Our
Absolutely.
government is working, and very soon you will see that the government of India will roll out National Fisheries Improvement Framework. Along with that, IMI would be part of it, and the researchers and all the fraternity who are required to develop this and to fulfill the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister will support us in this initiative. And India is a great country, and we have very good resource. Our resource is our asset. We need to protect it. Might be some countries have evolved. They have big producers owning vessels. Factory level FIPs are okay there, but this ecosystem needs one FIP and the national government on board, and hope to overcome this. And today the only problem is due to this fragmented FIP, the real problem is India lost opportunity. We have our own aquaculture. We are the second largest producers. We are also one of the largest feed producers. We are also the third largest fish meal producers. But it is sad that in the course of developing responsible sourcing, today India is forced to import. A country which is exporting 2/3 of its product due to certain miscommunications, maybe misguidance, maybe any side. Today, fact is that India is forced to import. We cannot use our own resource. Even if we use it, this will not give market access. And today, third-party certifications are the gatekeepers. So hopefully, certification bodies understand the ground realities, and their mandate should be, having a proper stakeholder consultation. Industry bodies are the bodies which is not working for ourselves, myself. It is for all. It is for the nation, and the welfare of the millions of livelihood involved, small fishers involved, and other communities. See, it doesn't end here. It ends, the whole coastal states earn from the coastal income. When we will be slow down, everything will slow down. We are the engine. We are the one who is trading, exporting, and when we cannot do that, it is going to badly affect. and responsibly sourcing thing will turn into a disaster, and there would be a lot of sustainability issues. This is what I can put it forth to you, and it was a great talking to you also. Maybe you touched my soul somewhere, but anyways, let us see. Hope for good things comes first. Let's see what is next.
And it takes time.
It takes time, but it shouldn't be the moment where nothing is left. Many of one or two, three members jumped to that whip, but really the fact is the landing datas are very less from the percent guess. If you bring 5, if you bring 10, then it will not make any difference. They will try to increase the catch. They will try to increase more and more, because more numbers, more business, more. And it should not be dictation from western buyers. You are seeing currently the mostly the demand is for abroad. Most of the foreign countries like your grow best. Then you have skirtings, Biomar, who are based in Australia, based in Canada. They really need fishmeal certified, and more than that, our feed industries. It is not only Avanti, Devi, and Sandhya, who are the feed producers in India. There are small and big 200. Even some small farmers have their own feed. I don't know how they are going to cope up with this certification thing. National level FIP could have certified a quantity. Even Southwest FIP, which I was pushing in phase 1, there were 42 stakeholders and all major producers. India would had 2 times fish meal certified. Then what's our requirement? But small FIP was accepted, and everything, the whole game changed, and India is today left empty-handed. Few will benefit from this, and this is all about certification. You get premium buyers, premium market access. You spend for the FIP. Where we can do it, in one FIP we are doing multiple. I don't know how much more certification bodies will try to bring in the small FIPs, which is going to, at the end, the results won't be good for our country. But I want to say one thing in your podcast. See, any negativity comes from these FIPs to my country, it won't be responsibility of my government. It won't be a mistake of my government. The real responsibility should be the certification body. They will be the persons for answer this. Bodies, standard setters, bodies, whoever is involved. Tomorrow, someone, see, I have been meeting so many people. They are asking me in many programs, why India is nothing is happening in India, why traceability is not coming up. All these questions are there, but you need to see the background also, how things happened. And if you really want sustainability, it should be a national effort. Our ecosystem clearly says that one FIP is enough for the west coast, and we can also make it as one more FIP in east coast. When we are right now, we are not exploiting. Further, we can develop that. So one FIP will only bring good to the country, good to our aquaculture, good to our feed producers. Even with your podcast, I would ask our feed industry to come together, because few people can manage the sustainable source, certified source through a handful of people here. What about others? Are they going to survive in this situation where El Nino is there today? Even imports are not working. You saw recently, import duties were reduced. See, this is the ill effects of our current situation, where government policy makers are manipulated, and they get import duty reduced when a country where the Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji says that we are Vikasit Bharat, Atmanirbhar Bharat, India first, make in India. We have 2 times fish meal, which we are selling it. It is on records. We are known as an exporter country. Today we are forced to, and it will also have its effects. See, I want to make one point clear on your podcast. I don't know whether you are going to play it or not. That I've been telling to the ministry with my letters that India will be forced to import. This is what is happening. Next, you will see that India will be losing its position because imported fish meal will come at a cost and it will reduce our competitiveness. And farmers should be worst affected. And we won't be much competitive. That means, we will drop. This is, I feel it, but I really don't know how things will go. How our government is going to come out with solutions. Let's hope for the best. Thank you for everything today, and this opportunity. I will always remember it.
Let's do a quick rapid fire session, and this is one of the sessions which I've designed on this podcast, and I feel and I believe that I should continue doing that because it's a fun way of extracting the truth. Let's start.
Yes, you've digged out of me everything, and what else you have? Let's see.
If FIPs don't progress, who is more accountable for it? Government, stakeholders, or standard body setter?
See, it all depends on the design of the FIP. See, I cannot say yes or no. If it is well designed with stakeholder consultation and all stakeholders are involved, there is no doubt. FIP will not success. FIP will always success. And FIPs are designed to get success. It is not overnight thing. It will run for multiple years, 5 to 7 years, and slowly progress is not overnight, and it is possible, but it only depends on the foundation what it is. These are my views, personal views.
What harm do you see if we continue exporting certified material from India?
There is no harm. We are getting better price, but at what cost we have to see. What are we losing?
What is the risk you see if we don't quickly transition to a national level FIP?
India will be forced to continue to import. Domestic fish meal industry will crash, and also our domestic aquacultures will suffer. Livelihood of the fishes will be on stake. Let's see. We have our national government to look into it. We have already appraised all the challenges which we will face.
If you had to define the future of marine ingredients in one line, is it about producing more or using what we have more intelligently?
I'll go with point two. Using what we have now intelligently and value adding it.
India has over 11,000 kilometers of coastline, yet it produces only a fraction of what countries like Peru produce with much smaller coastlines. Is this a resource issue or a management issue?
Currently, lack of knowledge about small pelagics. Hopefully, now things are changing, and we will soon see that India will be at its full potential. See, the later we explore our resource, we will be on a positive side. There would be less pressure from these sustainable advocates, trade barriers, and trade controllers who are eyeing on us, and hopefully let us go with the flow, and slowly we will use our untapped resources, and there might be a day that India could dictate the term of novel ingredient luxury fish meal which we were talking, and most of the countries will be looking for our fish meal, and we will decide how we will use it. Either we give them raw, either we'll give them the finished product, or I will give them the feed, or we'll give them the fish. And there's a lot of opportunities in this, and ocean is very large, and many things can be done in time to come. India is a fast learner.
Do you feel we would need to demonstrate chain of custody certification if we were to transition on digital traceability?
I had interacted with GSTD, right?
GDST.
GDST, sorry, I'm sorry. I had an interaction with two people, if I'm not wrong. One was Mr. Kevin during the World Seafood Congress, and another was during our FAO meeting. I see that, GSTD has developed some app for traceability. I think when this comes in operation, maybe we are thinking of it, our government, then the real requirement for certification is the traceability, and we have a framework, we can incorporate it, and we can do traceability from the beginning till end. And it is not that we do not have traceability, we have. As I told earlier, it is data is there, but it is fragmented into multiple, because we do have so many boards, so many livelihood involved. We need to slowly bring together, and soon we'll achieve this.
Traceability cannot be solved by one actor alone. Where do you see the biggest need for collaboration? Government, processors, feed mills, standard certification setters, and technology providers.
See, government is one-stop solution. Our national policies, our frameworks, our standards, our guidelines, our SOPs, this will shape the sustainability in future. Standards, we welcome them, third-party standards also. You can see that we are also coping up with European standards. We are coping up with US standards, recent FTS, and other countries have their own standards. Even China has got their own standard, which is more stringent than other countries. So we are coping up with that, and hopefully government will understand the importance of this sector, and government is the one who is going to set the trend. Who approaches, what would be their trajectory, how they are aligning with FAO, how it will benefit the overall sector, fairness in the sector, and equal opportunity for everyone. These are the factors which will determine traceability in India. Because traceability is not one person job. Fishermen are the one who will lose. Fishermen are the one who has to be rehabilitated. We need to look into a lot of things that during this process, this transformation, how fishers will get affected, and they are the one who is going to provide us the catch data. We need to look how we can compensate that, how they can issue us the catch certificate, because they are at the oceans, they are at the situation, they know the catch points, they know catch species. They are the one who are loading and who are unloading the product. So hopefully IMIE's approach is we are advocating to take fishermen also on board in all our meetings, so that we can understand what challenges they are going through, and unless until we protect them, our fisheries is not protected.
I think you have touched upon a very important angle, because FIPs, how FIPs is designed is to facilitate participation of the small scale fishermen. It is designed because our fishermen, small scale fishermen, should get benefited, isn't it?
Yes.
And in many times, in many of the articles, there's always this scrutiny that I keep reading, that says that these FIPs undermine the interests of small scale farmers or small scale fishermen. And I think we need to be more transparent about how those FIPs demonstrates a greater participation of small scale fishermen. I think those things should be brought out in public.
The standards, the standards are well designed, but they need also to be, they are evolving also from region to region. I think that marine trust has to look India as a from a different angle, because here a major livelihood is a fisherman, and our small scale industries, small and big producers who cannot afford, that is why IMIA came forward. And we knew very well that this factory level FIPs are too expensive, and I really don't know why they want multiple, and they want multiple spendings for the same thing. We as a country, we have one coast, we have a resource which is highly migrative. I said it is migrative up to Oman. Okay, today I see that Oman going as a unified FIP. I was part of the discussion. They were planning for two in two groups. I said to go together, and the government involvement, they succeeded, and the country which is not even near to our regulatory system what we have achieved this, and we are lagging. Hopefully government can assess the damage and benefits from fragmented FIPs.
That's why India looks like a mystery to the world.
Even me, during World Seafood Congress, I met a lady. I couldn't recall her name. She is from GSA. We had a awareness stall in. We had pavilion there, and she happened to visit us, and I think she was one of the director of Global Seafood Alliance. First question from her was, "Hey, is it traceability really working in India?" I said, it will work if you have a right approach. Current approach needs modifications. You need to have a background check. You need to have a all stakeholder consultation. This is part of the FIP process. Maybe IPAC, their governing body, SFP, GSA, AC. See, FIPs need a different approach. All stakeholders participation. In some places, some people, as they say that they are not interested, they don't want to implement it. Once it is done by someone, they want to use it. See, it is not like this. The industry association approached, and our data clearly shows we are present everywhere online, all recorded, that we've been working before even this Karnataka FIP arrest. They break from us overnight. Things happen. I don't want to go deep into it, but hopefully marine trust takes this into consideration, and the approach has to be little bit modified. See, success of India depends on a government, industry body, and marine trust.
Yes.
If marine trust want success here, they should go with a unified approach. Small FIPs should be immediately cancelled or ignored, because they are not bringing any good. Rather than I personally seeing it, they are busy manipulating our policymakers. They are busy manipulating the landing data across the borders, which are not from approved zone, have been bought here and sold as made in Karnataka, caught in Karnataka. This is a similar case in Maharashtra. First, you need to assess what is the capacity of that factory, what is the kind of resource landing with that approved gear. See, in the FIPS, the approved gear is small pelagic. And how many personas are there in that state? Whether the kind of enormous productions are happening, enormous sales are happening, domestic warehouses are full, export buyers like skirtings, Biomar, their godowns are full from Indian fishmeal. Whether you are getting it or not, see, that undermines the traceability, undermines the governance, that undermines the uh, uh, responsible sourcing. So they have to make it more public. It has to be available on public portals, that this vape achieved so much, this much certified fish meal has come from this vape. Then if there are any weakness, you need not to send your auditor, things will come out automatically.
People say achieving traceability is revolutionary in marine ingredients. How true is that?
It is, because mostly it was fragmented. No one was prepared for this kind of things coming out, and it is for the good. Achieving traceability is really good, that we know very well from where it is coming, how it is coming, how much is caught here, how much is caught there. Is it really coming from a sustainable source, or it is coming from unsustainable practices? It is really good things. So India will soon
It is a
learn
good
from.
thing. It is a good thing. But I'll ask one more question around this. How practical do you feel it is possible to achieve traceability in India amidst all this chaos and fragmentation?
Richa, see, I don't think so. Is there any difficulty? See, I've been working closely past 3 years. It can be a cakewalk for us. It will take some efforts to overcome the challenges. See, as I've been telling you, everything is there. Data is there, landing data are there, but fragmented. We need to put it in one basket. How the Westerners want from us, and also where we have challenges, we have to tell them also. So this is a different kind of ecosystem. You need to go with this approach, that we will inform from our side through ministry, that uh, India is ready. Third party certifications are welcomed by our government of India, and only thing is we need a proper coordination between third party certification and our frameworks, our standards, which welcomes them, but it should be as per the our framework. That is very important, and I see that soon India will have traceability, or in case we have to develop our own traceability, like gold, Bharat gold standard, that see, it is incorporated with our traceability framework. The government takes a sovereign guarantee, and even this is a possibility, that we self certify it, and we do have mandate. We have signed agreements with the World Trade Organization. We have signed with UNFAO guidelines, that we will incorporate them. So that itself says that when a country is agreed, and we are following their guidelines, and we are proving that we are following, we can also develop it. And market access, current third party certifications have, but in due course of time it will change. Let's see where it goes, how it goes, and what happens next. But I hope for the best, and we will hold on our stand. We will work for the nation. We will work for One India, One FIP, and we will prove it to the third party certification body, that we've been really working, and everything is on records, and we do have account of everything what we have done till now, and even the government knows it.
Okay. So our rapid fire session ends here. I think it's been rocking, with rocking questions and rocking answers. Any final thoughts?
You have not left anything, you've digged out of me everything. Few things, before coming here, I said, it is better to, be politically right. Few things, I need to, hold it. But, I don't know, you smiled and, asked me questions, and I was talking. I'm wondering why I'm, talking in details. But anyways, it was a great experience, and a good experience. And even you, I know, I really did not know you've already done a podcast with so many people. And I recently saw your podcast with Libby, but I didn't had much time to go through. It was almost more than 1 hour. But I know today I am feeling it. You are not compromising with limited information. So also saw breads. I happened to listen while traveling. really, Brett has opened our eyes. His words are, still ringing in my ear. He clearly says that India has got resource, use it wisely, follow the footprints of what you call
Chile.
Chile, and it has clearly said that China, how it is using. It was new for me to learn that, see, we other countries and we in India, we use this novel ingredient only in premium feeds, like mostly carnivorous diet. But China is using in even in the carbs and tilapia. I guess he said, if I'm not wrong, and also gave a rise to a question: how protein sufficiency can improve your brain processing power, how protein sufficiency can enhance the thinking and reasoning and many brain activities in human. I did learned it, and I also wanted to study, and I did some research on it. It is too good that China is going in right way. They are buying everywhere. First they feed them, and they never worry about third party certification. They have developed their own standards. That is the approach we should have, and we should also develop. And also one more thing, what Brett said opened my eyes was, we have 1.4 billion population
Yes.
that can consume even two times our production. Why are we not promoting? That is an eye opener for us. We need to promote. Hope you remember when you were a child, you used to see one promotion from the government: Sunday ho ya Monday, rose khao ande. Let
Yeah.
me translate it in English. Either it is Sunday or Monday, keep eating eggs. So it was so successful, and in India, people started eating egg. And now, I think new snowball will come very soon, and the they should understand the importance of protein in our diets. And as I said earlier, that first 1,000 days of a child brain growth period, at that time it is looking for protein, amino profile, amino acids for the growth of our neurons. And at that period, if it doesn't get, see, muscle can store something for utilizing it, but brain is on the constant, and brain consumes the most energy. So hopefully we'll come up with something, promotions for food. And I also told you about Jingalala. He's doing a great job. I know him
Absolutely.
personally, Manoj Sharma. He is the multi-millionaire farmer of India. I sometimes joke, but he's doing great things. He's into promotion of domestic consumption. Then he's supporting the aquaculture in an area where there was very little possibility, that is in Gujarat. And also he's opening chain of restaurants, and not only restaurants, he is running these restaurants with limited profit. This kind of initiatives are required, and also the government has to come forward, increase our domestic consumption. Even that is market, that also generates revenue,
Absolutely.
and there are no barriers or restrictions for your own consumption.
Absolutely, and we have a population. A majority of our population is below 40 years of age,
Mhm.
right? And we have the capacity to pay for quality products, for quality seafood products. We have our pocket allows us to pay more, but for quality,
Quality. So
right?
we do have.
Yeah, so we have immense opportunity in domestic market also. I think it's about maintaining a balance,
Yeah.
right? Uh, Strengthen domestic competitiveness, at the same time strengthen our export competitiveness, and create an environment where everybody in the entire fraternity is availing, is able to avail the resources, so that we can build an inclusive fair and sustainable trade, isn't it?
I would say the last words to you that see, aquaculture is transforming India. It is transforming how we used to do agriculture. Aquaculture gives you 3 to 4 times what you are getting through agriculture. Through aquaculture, in the same 1 hectare of land, it gives you 4 times the income. So we are seeing, see, it is not that the government is not promoting it. Yes, more awareness is required. More aquaculture has to be accepted.
We need aggressive marketing campaigns.
Yes,
This sector needs an urgent attention. I would say, with respect to branding, with respect to creating awareness, with respect to running market campaigns on a national level. That is, on a personal level, I feel is lacking.
no, you cannot say that because I've been working along with central government. Our brand ambassador, our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, the moment he started talking about this, today we have transformed. Everybody wants to do aquaculture. See, you can see the growth. See, Fisheries Department is slowly, they are developing. As I said, trout farming started. That too, in a warm city, warm country, a warm state. And also we are seeing, salmon, sea bass, cage culture. And it is becoming larger and larger every day passes na. The
Yeah.
landlocked states are doing best, they are achieving best. I saw the targets, UP 1 million, Guwahati 1 million plus. So slowly you see that things are changing. We need more aggressive marketing also for that. It is not just growing it. And under PMMSY na, everything is taken care. Fisheries Department is working so hard to promote support in many ways. Subsidies are being given, the bank supports are being given, and infrastructures are being given. So it will take some time. Maybe in next half decade or so, you will see that India will be producing much more than what we are doing it now. And the growth, as we have noted now, there is a very good growth potential, 10% per annum we are anticipating. Earlier we were only anticipating with the shrimp, now we are anticipating with fish culture. And our inland resources need aggressive marketing, which I see that there is outreach going on national level. That will help us. And buyers also, see, with your program, I would say that come to India. We have everything. We have resources. We are competitive. Not only for fish meal, for all the aqua products, fishery products. You want to learn from us. Take the skills from us. And they also can grow along with us. A country which is growing, if you collaborate with that, you can also develop similar things. And RAS is mastered by our sector. That also can be taken care of. I've seen recently that Middle East countries interest, and they are moving towards India to understand this. And hope so things will change. So rest it's all about business, good revenue, good yields, and God bless Fishmeal. Thank you.
Thank you so much for agreeing to do this podcast with me. Absolute honor, and look forward to witnessing your progress in the coming months.
I should be thanking you, Richa. See, you have tolerated me for more than an hour or so, and it is not easy to been bombarded with this kind of answers, and you've managed it. And I thank you once again for inviting me here. It was my pleasure talking to you and sharing my views.
Thank you
Hope you like my information.
very
We should be
much.
more effective for your future podcast.
Thank you so much.
like how many persons you will be asking the similar questions. Anyways, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So before we sign off, would you like to say something about our fisheries sector other than what we have discussed so far?
Okay, in this industry, we have talked about potentials for decades. What changed? Leadership changed. When our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji looked at our oceans and said, "This is not a welfare sector, this is a wealth sector," everything shifted. And followed by our Honorable Fisheries Minister Sri Lalan Singh ji has carried that vision with remarkable dedication, engaging with the industry, listening to the ground realities, and pushing for reforms that are genuinely transformative. Satyamev Jayate. Jai Hind. President, Indian Marine Ingredients Association. Thank you.
I think the most important takeaway from today's conversation is India's fisheries sector is not a struggling industry looking for a lifeline. It is a sleeping giant that is just beginning to stir. The challenges are real: standard gaps, underutilized resources, infrastructure needs, and the constant pressure on our coastal ecosystems. But when we look at the full picture, the resource abundance, the policy momentum, the global demand, and the incredible people driving this industry forward, you realize the challenges are not walls, they are simply doors we haven't opened yet. India already feeds the world's fish meal and fish oil demand with a fraction of its true potential. Imagine what becomes possible when we truly fish to our full potential, responsibly, sustainably, and strategically. The ocean has always been generous with India. It's now time for India to be serious with the tide is turning. And this time, India is not riding the wave, India is making it. We will keep bringing more such episodes with industry leaders, policymakers, and international organizations. Till then, stay tuned. And if you feel you have a voice that needs to be heard, Aqua Beats will make sure you are heard. Thank you for listening. Until next time, Jai Hind.